I'm back. If we've not met before, I'm Chynna Pace, an indie author of 5, I think now, young adult fantasy novels. I'm the author of the Dream World Chronicles series and the Wolves of Lookout Mountain series. And I'm back after a very long hiatus. I think it's actually been, I want to say 6 months, but it might not be that long actually. 4 months, 5 months, I don't know. It's been a while since I last made a video. I think the last video I made was right around the time when the first book in my werewolf series was coming out, which would have been at the end of February. So yeah, going on 6 months almost. So it's been a while, and there are some reasons for that. There's reasons for all kinds of stuff that I'm going to get into today. I've got some peppermint tea, and I just thought I would do kind of a chatty video, just kind of catch up with you guys, tell you where I've been, what I've been up to, why I've been pretty much MIA all over the internet for a couple months now, not just YouTube, and what my plans are going forward. So let's get started. So since this is YouTube, and YouTube was the platform I was absent from the longest, I decided we will start there. So the reason that I was absent so long from YouTube was the same reason that I was absent from most online platforms, and that was that I got so burnt out. And I know that if any of you watched my New Year's chat where I talked about the future of this channel, at that point I had already been experiencing the burnout, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to do like 1 video a month or 2 videos a month. That didn't end up happening. So the burnout settled in and it was not leaving. I didn't want to make videos. Like, I didn't want to make videos. That's the thing. The thought of making videos just exhausted me. It drained me. With what energy I had, all I wanted to be putting that towards was writing my books. And I was just severely burnt out with online stuff in general and the whole social media thing. But I do want to say that even with all of that, I still feel the same way I did when I made my New Year's video way back in January. I don't want to quit YouTube. I really don't, because part of me really does enjoy making videos sometimes. It's just not all the time. It's not constant. It's not like a constant wellspring like it is for me with writing. It's more like something that I would do when I get an idea, when I have a burst of inspiration. Like this video, for example. I didn't plan this video. I was just walking around my kitchen making tea, and then I decided, hey, I'm home alone. I think I'll make a video. So that's, for me, how I would want to approach YouTube. But the thing is, and this sort of ties into my other points with me being MIA on every other social media platform, is that I think the main reason why I experienced this burnout is because when you decide you want to be a career author or a successful indie author, people tell you to start your author platform, and they tell you that your author platform and being active online and building your following is like the most important thing to having a career and to selling books. So they say to, pick a social media that you like, be active on it, or 2 or 3, and it becomes this thing where like it's expected and it's like protocol if you're going to self-publish or just be published in general, just set out to be a career author. It's like protocol and an unspoken rule that you have to be online and active online and have this presence, whether that be posting videos or putting up Instagram posts and engaging that way. And when I first started YouTube, I had lots of ideas and I was excited, Because like I said, there is a part of me that genuinely enjoys it. When I was younger, like in my very early teens, I had a YouTube channel, and I wasn't trying to gain anything from it. I just enjoyed filming stuff and uploading videos. So part of me still really likes that. But it became this thing of like, you have to upload this many times a week. You have to do all these things to optimize your chances of being seen. You have to be consistent with your branding. You have to do all of these things, like this checklist of things. And it sucked all the fun out of it, because it was almost like I was getting this second job, like this other job that was supposed to help my writing, but was actually like taking time and energy away from writing. And to me, writing is always the most important thing. So anytime I feel like there's something taking time or energy away from writing, it bothers me. Like inside, I'm like, this is not right. I need to be stepping away. So there's that aspect. But then there's just the stress aspect. Like for me, I know there are some authors that genuinely love marketing. They love being active online. They love interacting and engaging. But for me, that's very draining. I'm a total introvert and sensitive, and it's just not in my nature to enjoy those things. So for me, even in the beginning, it was a stretch to open my Instagram account, because I had Instagram for like a teeny tiny amount of time whenever I was like 13, and then I took many years away from it. Loved those years, so peaceful. And so whenever I knew I was gonna have to start my author platform, I was like, oh, I've got to get on Instagram. It was a stretch. It was like a struggle for me to get back on Instagram. But I don't regret it, because I did meet amazing, wonderful writer friends who I talk to all the time. And other people discovered my books through Instagram, and I discovered other authors' books through Instagram. So I don't regret it. I feel like it's a good thing to have. But I want it to be a thing, and this goes for YouTube as well, that I use for fun, or that I use when I want to, or when I've got something exciting to share, or when I just feel like just getting on for no reason. Not this rigid, scheduled, I have to do this or I'm failing as an indie author thing, which is what I felt. I don't know if everyone feels that way, but that's definitely how I felt, and that's why I had such bad burnout. And I think it's important to remember that this can apply to anything. I mean, like, you can get burnout on anything. I've had severe cases of burnout from writing. It's just that for me, social media and online platform stuff has already always been a struggle. So it really hits me harder than other things. And so that's what happened this time. I got very badly burnt out, and I had to just step away. It wasn't a planned hiatus. It probably should have been. I probably should have made a conscious decision to be like, I'm going to take this time off from... I just couldn't handle it. I just had to step away, to come out of the online world, and to just focus on my books and get back into what I love, which is writing and telling stories, and just doing some self-analysis and some self-reflection, and reflecting on my goals and how they have changed. A lot of things have changed in the months that I've been absent. One of them has been my writing process has changed. I'm a lot slower now than I used to be with writing. But another thing that has changed is kind of my goals. I feel like in the beginning, when I was starting out with indie publishing, I was, of course, watching all the videos, reading all the articles, learning all about how to have the best launch, how to, reach the most readers and get the most sales. And I feel like that was a very dangerous place for me to be. But it's natural, you know, when you do decide you want to be a career writer, you want to take those steps, and those are the steps that are in front of you. You know, that's what these industry professionals are telling you. And so that's what I did, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna dive right into this and, you know, head first into this author platform stuff. And I do regret that now. I wish that I had been more true to myself and taken it slower, and not been so intense and so feeling like I had to get everything right and get everything done fast. And it's hard though, because you do feel like you're failing as an author if you don't. You feel like you're dooming your career, breaking all the rules. It's hard because you want to have this career as an author, but some of the things, you know, and they may be different for other people, but some of the things just might not sit well with you or match up to your goals, but you still feel like you have to do them. And I think that's part of the reason why I got so burnt out. You know, it wasn't necessarily even the platforms themselves, more just the mindset and the unspoken rule that I had to do these things, that I had to have this platform in order to make it as an author, that I had to put myself out there. And then, you know, like with YouTube, it became, I have to post a video every week. I have to be active. I have to optimize my videos. Same with Instagram, like I have to post every day. I have to, you know, write good captions and post good photos. I have to do all these things to further my career. And there was never any possibility of it just being like a fun thing. And going forward, I really want it to be a fun thing, because I do have ideas for content, and part of me, you know, comes up with these ideas and wants to do them, but it's like I'm intimidated by the author platform stress, which just makes me want to not even step out at all. And I've been discovering a lot of small author tubers that have really, like, they have really great content, and they've really sparked my inspiration to want to, you know, make videos again. But I know I'm never going to be that author or that person that can consistently post week after week after week. And I know I'm never going to be that person who can consistently post week after week after week on Instagram. And I just, during this time of break and during this time of self-reflection, I've realized that I want to get out of this selling and money headspace that sort of rules everything, because that's what it boils down to. That's why you have an author platform. That's why there are these rules to sell books, to make money. And I feel like it's a dangerous place to be, because it can just take over. It can suck all the joy out of everything. And, you know, once money gets involved, then it's like, it's a chore. Everything is a chore. And I feel like with Instagram and YouTube and every other online platform, I want to be able to just pop in when I want to, or when I have exciting news to share, or when I have an idea for a video or an idea for a post that I'm genuinely excited about and genuinely want to post, and not because I feel like I have to do this to succeed as an author, because someone up there in the land of successful authors said that this is what I have to do in order to be successful. Been doing a lot of like redefining my idea of success, which for me I think is way more about writing than it is money. I say that being a person that does want to have a career as an author, and that does want to sell books and to have my books in the hands of readers. But I feel like the only way for me I'm gonna be able to take those steps and sustain them long term is if I am doing them outside of that author platform headspace, outside of marketing, outside of I'm doing this to further my career, and more from a headspace of I want to do this. Doing this would bring me a little bit of joy, or give me something to be excited about. Not this thing that is a chore or a source of stress, or just something I feel I have to do, otherwise I'm going to be a failure. So going forward, like I said before, I don't want to give up on YouTube. I don't want to give up on any of my platforms, because there's things I like about all of them. They have the potential to be points of stress, but what I want to do going forward is to just view them differently and treat them differently. I don't want to be viewing these things anymore as things I have to do to succeed, or things I have to do to sell books, or anything like that. I just want to be able to be spontaneous, and if I get an idea for a YouTube video, post it. And I know that that's, not the best way to gain a following quickly, or, the most, what's the word? Like, the most ideal strategy for like optimization or whatever, but at this point, like, I really don't care. I mean, I know that probably sounds flippant, but I don't. I've changed what's important to me at this stage in my life, and I've realized what is important to me. And what is important to me is keeping my joy and not sacrificing my joy for anything. And yes, selling more books would be great, but I would honestly rather just do that organically and do that slowly, even if it takes me 20 years to reach a point where I am like selling books consistently and making money consistently. If I am joyful every one of those days of every one of those 20 years, writing and being happy with what I'm writing and being at peace within myself, then that to me is success. That to me is like way more important and way more satisfying than sacrificing everything that is important to me and my own health and well-being to meet all these expectations. And they may not even work to, make me more successful or make me more money. So going forward, I just want to focus on the joy in everything. Like, I'm already doing that with my writing. I've known that that's important to do with writing for a long time, but now I'm starting to think about applying that to the business side of things, because I think I just assumed that the writing was the joy, and then the author side, the business side, couldn't have anything to do with joy. Like, that was just my assumption. But I want to change that. I don't want that to be the case. I want there to be joy in all these aspects, because for me to have an author career and the author career that I want, it has to be sustainable over a long period of time. And so, like I said, going forward, all about joy, all about fun. I want to be active on here when I want to be active. I don't want anything to be forced, because writing books should be fun, and ultimately that's what this is all about anyway. Platform and online engagement, all of that boils down to writing books and sharing stories. And so that's what the heart of all of this is about anyway, so that's what I want my main focus to be. I know that sounds pretty vague. I know that I should probably put it into more quantifiable terms, like I'm gonna post one video at this time every month or every 2 months or whatever, but I can't at this point give you that. So I'm just gonna say that I am not quitting YouTube. I'm not quitting any online thing, but I'm being gentle with myself. I'm knowing myself and I'm knowing my needs and my limits, and I'm learning to work through that and planning to work through that, and planning to post the content that I want to post when I want to post it, when it's good for me, and not out of stress, not out of I should do this or I have to do this. So, but I actually do have quite a few ideas for YouTube ideas in the future, or for YouTube videos in the future. I don't know when they'll be coming out. I don't know when I don't know when they'll be coming out or when I'll be filming them, but I do have the ideas, and I'm excited about those ideas and about putting those videos up. So I'm definitely not quitting. It's just gonna be more from a place of spontaneity, joy, and just lightness. So now that long YouTube, Instagram explanation is over, now we can get into the fun stuff, which is the writing. And I have a lot of writing updates, a lot of stuff I'm working on, a lot of plans, a lot of change in like publishing plans and future publishing plans. To start, I just want to say I'm working very, very diligently on book 2 of Wolves of Lookout Mountain, which was supposed to come out at the end of June, and it didn't because the book wasn't done. And I could have rushed it. I really could have. I could have rushed it and gotten it out on the deadline that I set. But I decided to just take the time to make it a quality book and to write it the way it should be written and not get so wrapped up in the deadline. So I'm working on that. I don't know when it's going to come out, but it should be soon. I don't think it'll be like months. It'll be soon. It's almost done. I'm working on that. I'm working on book 6, the very last book in the Dream World Chronicles series, which is absolutely nuts to me. I mean, I cannot believe that I have almost completed a 6-book series. It's just like mind-blowing and crazy to think that the series is almost over and the story is almost over when it's been such a part of my life for over 2 years at this point. So that's crazy. And I've been working on a lot of other new projects, some series, and even a couple standalones, which is weird for me because I usually, like, my brain doesn't naturally compute in standalones. It automatically reverts to series, so for me to write standalones is kind of weird, but I'm loving it and having fun. I'm writing a lot of middle grade. I'm really like finding my voice in middle grade and finding my true love in middle grade, and I do think going forward that I'm probably going to write more middle grade than YA, but I still want to do both. Like, I still want to be both a middle grade and a YA author, not either or. But I do have, like, the majority of my works in progress right now are middle grade. And I'm so excited about those. I've got a portal fantasy, I've got like a gothic suspense type of thing. I've got a contemporary fantasy that's kind of similar to my Dream World Chronicles thing, but different also. I'm even working on a thriller, which is weird. It's kind of like a thriller and a whodunit combined. So super fun, not a genre I've ever done before. Loving that. So lots of projects going on. Actually, the other day I tallied up all my projects and it came to 10. Which is nuts because I knew I had been working on a lot of projects at once, but I didn't know the number was that big. But when I actually wrote them all out, there were 10 projects. Not all of them are books though. A couple of them are just short stories that I'm working on. Still a lot though. Still a lot of projects at once. But I've discovered during this hiatus and during all this writing time that that's kind of the way I work best, is by working on multiple projects. And having different things to work on at different times to sort of like refill the well and also inspire me for other projects. So I seem to work really well working on multiple things at once, and I'm loving it. And going forward, I definitely want to tell you guys more about all my writing projects. So those will probably definitely be some future video ideas too. And now moving on to publishing updates. So my publishing plan, strategy, whatever you want to call it, has actually changed significantly. I'm still planning on indie publishing all of my series that are already in the works, and a couple other series that I'm just starting that I'm planning to indie publish. However, I am also planning on diving into the waters of traditional publishing and hopefully starting a hybrid career. I realize that I'm really drawn to to traditional publishing, and I have a lot of ideas for books that I think would work better in traditional publishing than in indie, particularly those standalones I mentioned earlier. And I don't know, like, I just really want to try it. It's a writer goal of mine to try traditional publishing. I don't have any expectations. I don't feel like I'm doing this for any reason other than I want to give it a shot. You know, I want to see what happens. I want to experience querying and getting rejected and all of those things, and hopefully come away with a book deal and be a hybrid author. I'm really intrigued by that concept because I am so drawn to traditional publishing, but I also love indie publishing, and I love the freedom of being able to write and publish and put out books whenever I want to. So in the future, I'm going to be querying a couple of the books as soon as they're done that I'm working on right now, and that'll be something else to hopefully chronicle through YouTube, so look forward to that. And I guess that's all for this video, you guys. I just wanted this to be a chatty update video to let you guys know where I've been, where I'm going with all of this. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye!